Kyle Larson absolutely tears up the field at Bristol Motor Speedway. He wins the night race in dominating fashion, while 4 drivers are eliminated from the playoffs. Let's talk about it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. We're talking Bristol Night Race Edition. Well, Bristol Night Race Edition post-race video thing. I don't even know. I'm really tired. I have been up since 6:30 this morning. I am just recovering from a cold, so I am not getting a lot of sleep at the moment, but yeah, I was actually supposed to go away this weekend too, but like I said before, I was sure this video was going to go up on Monday or Tuesday, but here we are Saturday night, and I'm recording it. Here we are. That's what happens when you get sick, I guess, but oh my god. I guess when you get sick, you can enjoy a pizza watching the Bristol night race. But anyway, let's talk Bristol. Stage 1, Alex Bowman started off with the pole. He actually got out and led a couple laps. We had an early caution for a spin with John Hunter Nemechek. But, man, Kyle Larson, he got around Alex Bowman early, and he just set sail from there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kyle Larson ended up leading 462 laps today. So that just goes to show how much of a dominating performance that 5 team put on through this race. And yeah, I mean, Daniel Suarez, another playoff contender, we'll talk about him more later, but he was struggling throughout the day. He had no better than a 30th place car, ran 30th or worse most of the day. Kyle Larson lapped him in the very beginning. He was actually getting past Brad Keselowski, putting him a lap down as well. I mean, Harrison Burton went a lap down too, but we expect that of Harrison Burton, to be honest. Like I said, should be in the playoffs, should he not be? Debate to be had for another day. But Kyle Larson wins the opening stage, puts 2 of his playoff rivals in a deeper hole, which makes things very interesting. And this was also stage 1 on pit road. We also had a penalty with one of the better cars of the race, Ty Gibbs, being sent to the back. And with the next-gen short track package, this car, you need track position, especially at tracks like Bristol, Martinsville. It's hard to give the bumper, and it's hard to get past. And especially where tire wear did not matter as much as the spring race, you needed track position. And Ty Gibbs struggled the whole night to get that track position back. He worked and worked and worked for it, but he just could never get it back. I mean, yeah, you could use the bumper in this race. I'm watching Alex Bowman give the bumper to Josh Berry. There was moments where you were able to use the bumper, but we've seen in the past, this next-gen car, more times than not, you haven't been able to use the bumper. But Harrison Burton, at this point, he had to go behind the wall. He had a power steering failure at Bristol. So that essentially guaranteed what we all thought and knew was going to happen. Harrison Burton going out in the round of 16. No shockers there. And then we had a crash. I think it was Corey LaJoie who got into Joey Logano, but Joey Logano absolutely pancaked the right side wall. And both right side tires went flat on the 22. I believe it was Corey LaJoie. I'm watching the crash back here now. And can't really tell there. Was it the 7?
At angle weather.
Yeah, I think it was the 7. Let me see here. It looks, yeah, it was the 7 car. That's gonna give more, even the fans will probably give Corey LaJoie a pass on that one because it's Joey Logano. Not gonna lie. But yeah, Larson, as you can tell, he dominated both stages, and he's through to the next round. That's pretty simple. Like, he just absolutely dominated. 2 guys that also made it in on points throughout the race were Joey Logano. Well, not Joey Logano. Joey Logano got a win and he wrecked out, dumbass. Were Christopher Bell and Alex Bowman. They were able to points their way into the round of 12 before the race was even over. And yeah, stage 3 is where things got spicy. I mean, Truex was really the car that was holding down second most of the race. I gotta give it to Chase Briscoe, man. That 14 car was absolutely cooking today. That Stewart-Haas Racing 14, That was a top 5 car. I'm just currently rewatching the point where Truex, Briscoe, and Hamlin were all 3 wide. And yeah, it was crazy to watch. Briscoe was up in second for a bit. That was actually what gave Chase Elliott the second position. But yeah, Ty Gibbs, he was making his way back up through the field at this point. Eric Jones turned into Daniel Suarez at one point. I think it was just miscommunication from the spotter, but then Suarez tried to hit him back. I said in the moment, that's just tempers running short at Bristol. That's how short track racing is. What else happened here? Wait, did they... I'm on Twitter trying to, like, get a recall of the points here, but... do they not talk about the friggin' 7 spinning? So, yeah. Somewhere... Yeah, so Larson actually... So I think, it would have been before the whole Suarez and Eric Jones thing. Corey LaJoie actually wrecked, so that's when everyone came down and made their final pit stop for this race. And sure enough, the 19 did what his other playoff teammate did. He made a mistake on pit road. He sped. That sent him to the back of the field. So Truex and Ty Gibbs were in holes that they were trying to make up when it comes to the playoffs. The 19 was pretty much screwed because he needed clean air. And yeah, it's sad to think that's what's going to end Martin Truex Jr.'s career. That's really sad to me, but unfortunately, that's just how the game goes. I feel sorry for Martin, but ever since he announced his retirement, Martin Truex has mentally been on a boat, throwing out his fishing rod. That is terrible fishing technique. I have not been out this summer. Don't judge me. But anyway, yeah, Kyle Larson was able to drive off with it from this point. There was a point where the 54 got alongside the 99, even though the 99 was 3 laps down. And then the 99 just started to pull away. The 54's car just kind of dropped off. And yeah, Kyle Larson advances to the round of 12. He got in on points before he won the race anyway, but the most dominant race in Hendrick Motorsports history, 462 or 4, one or the other, out of 500 laps were led by the 5 team of Kyle Larson. Absolute domination today. Like, some people will probably say, like, oh, this wasn't a good race, it sucked, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, I don't think it was an amazing race, but, like, you gotta appreciate the greatness of Kyle Larson here today. Like, he dominated. He absolutely dominated that race, and it was a pleasure to watch. You gotta appreciate greatness when you see it, but let's talk these results. Well, taking a look at your results, Kyle Larson gets the win, dominating fashion, max points day, most laps led. What more can you ask out of the 5 team other than a pole? But he pretty much had the pole anyway because he started like 2nd or 3rd. And Chase Elliott, his teammate, comes home 2nd. He was like 4 or 5 seconds off. Chase Elliott just never really had the track position all day. He just kept getting closer and closer to the front. Maybe if one more caution could have came out, maybe Elliott would have had something for the 5, but today was just not his day. Bubba Wallace with a strong 3rd place finish after just signing his contract extension. That's something that Michael Jordan, Booty Barker, Bubba, they can all be proud of, especially considering their teammates' performance today. Denny Hamlin, who needed a great result today, he gets it. He was in the top 5, top 10 all day. He rounds it out in 4th. Christopher Bell, he brings it home in 5th. A great day to be a Toyota or a Chevy. Ryan Blaney, Ryan Preece, who really went under the radar there, he hauled some balls. Ryan Blaney, he was one of those guys who just slowly creeped their way up to the front. Chase Briscoe brings it home in 8th. He honestly deserved a much better finish than that, but an 8th will do. That's the points day the 14 needed. Alex Bowman in 9th. Had a top 10 car, put it in the top 10. Solid result. And Ross Chastain, who you never really seen the whole day, brings it home in 10th. Michael McDowell in 11th. Noah Gragson, another guy you didn't really see the whole day, in 12th. Austin Cindric, Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs rebounded to 15th, to be fair to him. Zane Smith, William Byron, Carson Hocevar, Daniel Hemrick, Tyler Reddick, who finished, well, he stayed out for like the last 2 laps of the 2nd stage to try and get some points. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, Tyler Reddick's getting awfully close to that cutoff line. He was like +7 before that Logano caution, so good for him. He got some stage points, helped him be a little more comfortable. The playoff battle would have been a lot more interesting without those speeding penalties, but it is what it is. Austin Dillon, Justin Haley, AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, whose playoff day is obviously done, Ricky Stenhouse, Joey Logano, Josh Berry, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Todd Gillen, John Hunter Nemechek, Josh Bilicki, Harrison Burton, Corey LaJoie, and Kaz Grala round out your Bristol results. Well, I mean, since it is a cutoff race, I want to talk about a few of the guys, well, the guys who've been eliminated. Starting off with the 21 of Harrison Burton. We all seen this coming. I mean, good on the 21 just for getting here. It's going to create a lot of revenue for that team. It's surely going to help the 21 out next year, but yeah, unfortunately, Harrison Burton's, for now, Cup Series career is going to end like such because, yeah, Harrison Burton is off to AM Racing in the Xfinity Series. So, good job on getting here, Harrison, but no one, I don't even think you expected to advance to the next round. So, that's a wrap for Harrison Burton. Brad Keselowski, really disappointing performance today. I expected a lot more out of that 6 team. And a must-win situation, I felt like. You show up with a 25th place car? Really? I had this team going to the round of 8. I'm honestly amazed that Brad Keselowski did not show a better fight at Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol. I thought those tracks shaped up really well for Brad Keselowski, but what can you do? What can you do, man? Brad Keselowski, RFK's got to go back to the drawing board. Maybe RFK, they're just better in odd-numbered years. I think they had a decent season in 2021. I remember they had a decent season in 2019, too, with Ryan Newman. How I remember that, I do not know. Yeah, obviously they had a good 2023, but yeah, RFK, they just got to go back to the drawing board, man. Take what they learned from this year, move it into the next. They should be fine. Hopefully, when they start their 3-car operation with Priest next year, they'll be a lot more solid. Hopefully they announce that soon, too. I want to see my boy Ryan Priest get a ride. Sick fella. But, anyway. Who else? Ty Gibbs. I mean, Ty Gibbs could have gone either way, but I mean, everything, the chaos at Watkins Glen, I think, really got the best of him. And, well, Atlanta. I mean, he did have like a top 2 going at Atlanta, but I think he just got shuffled out with different pit strategy and all that, so is what it is for Ty Gibbs. Unfortunate, but that's how it goes. But yeah, I really thought Ty Gibbs was gonna have a decent playoffs, but oh well. I figured Ty Gibbs would be around to 12, but it is what it is. But man, I figured this was gonna happen, but Martin Truex Jr., what a disappointing way to go out. I still hope he gets a win before his career's technically, well, his full-time career is over. But my God, what a depressing way to go out. For such a father figure of the sport, in my opinion, hasn't had a, I'm pretty sure he hasn't finished in, I want to look this up real quick. Let's look this up. I'm going to Google this in real time. Martin Truex 2024 stats. I don't think he's had a top 10. He did have a top 10 at Pocono. And he did have a top 10 at New Hampshire. I should remember that, I was there. But those were the only 2 times, and I repeat, the only 2 times Martin Truex has finished in the top 10 since Iowa when he announced his retirement. That's beyond sad. That is beyond sad. Like, I love Martin Truex Jr. to death, but like, you threw it in the bin, Martin. You're driving the 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. I mean, I think part of this says things about James Small, too, because I don't think he's helped Truex much along the way, either. They probably would have got a good finish at Richmond, but knowing their luck the last half of the season, it would have found one way to blow up in their face. But it already did blow up in their face because they had a blown motor. But it probably would have blown up in their face a different way. But it's kind of like Kevin Harvick next year or last year. I don't think Harvick was anywhere near as mentally checked out as Martin Truex is. But yeah, it's just disappointing to see someone go out like that. I was really hoping Martin Truex would go through, but just want to, even though I'm upset that he's virtually been gone for the last 3 months on a fishing boat, I just want to thank Martin for everything he's done for the sport. He's still got 7 races left. Hopefully he gets that win. I know he's running a part-time schedule next year. Hopefully he does well in those part-time starts, but Martin. It's just disappointing. It's just very disappointing. Now, we'll have a look at your playoff standings heading into Kansas. Kyle Larson already has a 39-point advantage to the cutoff. That was his 5th win on the season. And, yeah, Kyle Larson's just absolutely hauling balls. Christopher Bell brings it home in, well, he's 2nd. So, he's 24 points to the good. Tyler Reddick, 20 points to the good. I'm staying by this. I will stand by this. William Barnes getting eliminated this round. I'm standing by it. Tell me one good race he had in the round of 16. That 24 team is not there. That team is getting eliminated in this round. Mark my words. Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano. Ryan Blaney plus 11, Denny Hamlin plus 7. Denny could... I was hoping Denny would get the win just so he'd add more playoff points, but oh well, is what it is. Chase Elliott rounds it out in, well, he's 6 points to the good. He could use some more playoff points as well. Logano with that Atlanta win, that's the only reason he's plus 4. Cindric, he's out by 4. Suarez out by 6. Bowman out by 7. And Briscoe out by 7. Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Briscoe might be the most likely one to point their way out of this round. And that's crazy to think, considering the situation Stewart-Haas Racing is in. But that 14 cars look brilliant. It has looked brilliant so far and during these playoffs, man. If he gets to Phoenix, you know, he might just... He's gotten to the round of 8 in the playoffs before. You never know, man. You never know. Chase Briscoe could be the upset of the year. That would be amazing if Briscoe could do that. For Tony, holy God, man. Don't get me going down that road as a Tony Stewart fan. But obviously there's a Hendrick Motorsports car of Alex Bowman. But Briscoe's been running the best out of all these guys, in my opinion. I really think Briscoe's the most likely one to point their way out, but yeah, let's put this race on the Skyler scale. Damn, my goddamn nose sounds like a motor. But, yeah, I've been doing that all day. This is like my 50th Kleenex of the day. But to put Bristol on the Skyler scale, average race, greatness was there. I'm going to give it a 65%. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. This is definitely not a race I'm going to be like, ooh, I need to go watch the Bristol night race in 2024 again. It's not that iconic. It's not. Unless you're the biggest Kyle Larson fan in human existence, that's the only reason I'm going to go back to watch this race. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think of the Bristol night race? If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, notifications turned on so you never miss a future upload. Heading into Kansas next week, that could be very, very interesting. I'm excited to see how Kansas goes. We all know this is another crazy round when it comes to tracks. You got Kansas, which has arguably been the most wild mile-and-a-half in the next-gen era. Talladega and the Roval. I mean, the Roval could be boring, but we've seen what a road course in the playoffs did with Watkins Glen, so we'll see. But anyways, guys, I will see you in 8 days from now at Kansas next Sunday. Take care and peace.